Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to my channel. Um, Appreciate all the new subscribers. Thank you very much. Now, this content I'm going to do this wonderful day is how to structure your DDA residential program. Now, I'm so grateful. I'll say this. I'm so grateful that I worked at the Arc of Baltimore and I saw how it was structured very well, how the program and all the different types of departments were structured. If I came and if let's say I started working with one of these other agencies that don't have a structure, it will not help. It won't help you. So if you decide to go start your own group home, you will probably not have that mindset of how it go, how it should really go to be successful. A lot of people don't see success. They have a lot of issues because they just don't know how to structure it well. So it's always good to learn to put things in place that will help you as the owner, especially if you're a new provider. Yes, you're not going to be as big as the Arc of Baltimore, Chimes, and other agencies in Maryland, but if you have a good structure in place, everything flows. So even if you remove somebody from that position, all you have to do is plug somebody in. Now, it depends on what type of work ethic they bring, how good they know the job. That's what will make you successful. So, um, your residential program is a 24/7 service, and it's around the clock, 365 days every day, 24/7. Every week. So you need staff, you need food, you need utility, you need everything. It's not like personal support or supported living. This is 24/7, and you need a structure. You, as the owner, right, cannot, and I repeat, cannot handle everything. Even if you're running it by yourself the first time, you're going to wear many hats. You're the house manager, program director, um, nurse, maybe not nurse, case manager, accountant, you're all these positions. But eventually, as you begin to get more clients, if you have a maximum of 3 houses with 9 clients, now you have to start putting things in place, people in place. It's not time to be cheap, all right? If you're trying to be cheap, you are going to have a lot of problems. Trust me, you will have problems. Because as a DDA owner, CEO, whatever you want to call yourself, you need to focus on the the business side um, the business, because it's still a business. You need to focus on the business side. So you need to let someone run your day to day DDA program, because you need to focus on the business side. So how to structure it? There's different positions that you need to think of. Most people are full. Uh, 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 Most people know um, house manager, because that's what the name was back then when we worked. House manager, residential counselor, residential house manager, whatever it was called. Now you don't even really have to get a house manager, you know. So if you, let's say for example, you've been approved, you have 2 houses only, even if it's one house and you don't want to hire a house manager, do it. Make sure you have a lead staff. Now, you might pay them just a little bit below a house manager, which is fine. That helps you with some type of structure. The person will help you with the paperwork. They will do the grocery shopping. They'll, they'll do multiple things around the house. They will make sure they're not a supervisor. They're just a lead staff. They don't do the schedule. They don't do any of that. Their job function is just to manage a few assignments. You know what I'm saying? Now, sometimes a lead staff could work on the weekends. So they can work during the week, maybe Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. Or they work weekends from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. Saturday, 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. Sunday. They might work with another person, or they work with the overnight person. So it depends on what the schedules is availability. So you can start with a lead staff first, then they get promoted to house manager, or just have a house manager during the week and a lead staff on the weekend. But you need somebody that's going to be responsible for something, um, because you can't do it all. You can't run to the grocery store. You can't take the clients to their appointments all the time. You need people to do that, all right? Because you have to do the paperwork, and without the paperwork, if you don't have like a PCP meeting, you have to do audits, you have to do something that requires um, documentation, then you need people out in the field that will do some of these tasks. So a lead staff is always good to have when you first start. So when you first start, if you don't have a house manager, you can't afford a house manager, get a lead staff. This person will know responsibility. You tell them what their tasks are. I worked at a place, I'm not going to mention the name, they had nothing. No lead staff, no house manager, you know, nothing. It was just come and go, come and go. People sometimes you just identify who's the best employee, who's the best person to work, and this is the person that will handle all the tasks. But most of them will be like, I'm not a house manager. I don't get paid like a house manager. So you're gonna have that situation where nothing gets done. The house is, nothing gets done. People just do what the hell they want to do. So, but you have to have that structure in place. You gotta have people who are going to be given tasks to do. Now, are we all familiar with house managers? So most of them, they manage the whole residence. They do all the medical appointments. They do all the grocery shopping, staff management. If somebody calls out, they'll be able to fill in or be able to get somebody from one house to another house in one shift. Maybe they'll ask somebody else to work extra shift. So a house manager manages the house the whole week, Monday through Friday. Most of the individuals are usually at a day program or out in the community. So, for example, if you have a one-to-one that doesn't go anywhere, let's say he has CDS and he doesn't really I remember we had a client that don't like to go out much. So they had a staff in the morning that would come in the morning to work with him from 8 to 12. But the thing is, then we had a residential counselor who worked from Sunday 6 p.m. to Friday, no, Sunday 6 p.m. to Friday 6 p.m. So he works 7 a.m. to 11 p.m., 7 a.m. to 11 p.m., Monday through Friday. So there was an awake overnight person. So the way the schedule was just crazy. Um, so so those hours in the morning were covered. So he was there. So he made sure that all the food shopping was done, medical appointments, um, maybe the car need the oil change, anything that can be done that morning. So the house manager did that in the morning. Then the individuals came back at 3, and once they come back at 3, the staff that works, we had the staff work 4 to 8. So he will go out again to get lunch, maybe go out to do other errands for the house. So it depends on how many hours how you want to put a schedule together for your house manager. But the basic hours that the house manager works is from 3 to 11, 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. Now, if the client has a PCP meeting and the house manager needs to be there, then he can come in the morning to do a meeting at the day program or at the job wherever he works, and they do the PCP meeting there. So the house manager might work a few hours, um, Most of them are on salary. So if you put them on salary, they have to come in to work. Maybe go to the PCP meeting, take the individuals to their appointments in the morning or whatever. But most agencies, they usually have them 3 to 11. Sometimes you might have another staff that will be there from 3 to 11 as well, that will work with the house manager. So that the other staff, what they're going to do is they're going to assist with laundry, they're going to assist with cooking, they're going to assist with different things. It depends on the type of clients you have, the type of individuals you have. Sometimes you have individuals that are all in the wheelchair, so you need an extra hand or two extra hands to get things done. Because some of them wear diapers, um, they have to change their clothes. They have to wash them that same day because of you know um, extra activities. Um, you have to wash their bed, you know, shower them and put them to bed once they're ready to go to bed. So you might need two staff. So, but a house manager is very key because they manage everything during the day. All right. Now, program coordinator. Somehow, some agencies, the way they use a program coordinator is, you know, they work usually. It depends on how you want to use them. Some agencies use program coordinators. They focus on the house. They're not house managers, so they're in the house. So their job is to schedule the medical appointments. Bring same thing a house manager does. Now you have some other agencies that will have a program coordinator that works in the office. They work from 8 to 5, so they will manage about 3 houses. Um, they will supervise the house managers. So the program coordinator will supervise the house managers and or the lead staff, whatever it is. Or sometimes the program coordinator is in charge of your supported living and personal support programs. They're two different funding. Residential is different from personal support, and 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 and, personal support and supported living. So they're two different programs. It's always good for an agency to separate the two. Let one program coordinator focus on residential and let one program coordinator focus on supported living and personal support. So a program coordinator is also a good position to have. Ooh, all this are all screwed up. So the next one is a program manager. That's the most common one. Program managers could manage about 3 houses. Um, they could manage. They can manage a DDA program. They can manage residential, and one could manage the day program. And both of those program managers will report to the program director. Now, program managers don't work in the houses. No, let me take that back. Some work in the office, and some will work in the houses because some of the houses have offices. Um, Another good agency I worked for, another wonderful agency, we had program managers. So I had 3 program managers, and all of them had about 3 to 4 houses, and all of those houses had offices where they can work. Sometimes they would come to the building to work. For example, one of our main office was in Harford County, and we had houses in Baltimore County. So we don't expect the program manager to be in the office in Harford County every day. No. So they stayed in Baltimore County. And they managed the house. They had their own office, printer, fax machine, house phone. So that's what I'm saying. When you are going into this, make sure you are going into it with a mind of improvement. Don't go into this with just being cheap. You got to give your staff the tools they will use to be successful to make your agency run like a well-oiled machine. If it doesn't run like a well-oiled machine, you are going to have issues. Okay. The best thing to do is when you have a house, make sure you have phones, the internet, fax machine. They don't really use fax machines like that as much. Um, what else? Cable. Wi-Fi, a telephone, right? These are simple, basic stuff. And trust me, not a lot of people follow this concept because they don't know. Now, so the program managers, all those three program managers manage about 3 to 4 houses, and they report to me, right? So that's how that was done. Now, sometimes you might have a program manager that just manage the personal support and supported living program. So that happens sometimes. Or manage the employment services at the day program, manage the CDS services, or manage the day program services. So you have program managers like that. The deputy or assistant director, pretty much the same thing. So let's say, for example, Baltimore County, you have you have 5 houses in Baltimore County, you have 5 houses in uh, you have 10 houses in Baltimore County. You have 5 houses around the Randallstown area. You have 5 houses in White Marsh. Um, what you would do is you hire 2 assistant directors, or you hire 2 program managers. All right. So it's all about how big your agency is. You don't have to hire an assistant director. A program manager will do because the pay is a little bit lower. But as you get bigger, yeah, you need assistant directors. They're more like directors. For example, I was in charge of Baltimore County. I had houses in Essex, Randallstown, Owens Mills, so I had about 12 houses, I believe. And each of the houses had house managers, and I had 3 program managers under me that were managing these houses. The good agencies would do it this way because it worked out for them. It's how they structure it, and it worked out fine. There were no, I mean, there are issues, but it wasn't a lot because the structure was in place. You had some agencies that don't have that structure. Everything was just cloudy, or rough, rowdy everywhere. There was no structure, you know. So you can hire a deputy director or an assistant director. Sometimes some agencies they hire a deputy director to manage all the program managers, depending on, it doesn't matter where they are. They can be in various counties, but you have one deputy director because if the main director is out, you need somebody to always assist them. So having a deputy director, they can manage a county. For example, if you have houses in Baltimore County, you have houses in Baltimore City, then you have 2 deputy directors or 2 assistant directors that will manage both. All right, so this is an example. So, for example, you have 10 residential homes in Baltimore County. So you have a deputy director, you have 3 program managers, a program manager for Essex and Rosedale area, a program manager for Parkville and Perry Hall, a program manager for the Owens Mills area, right? So that's how you will you will structure it, right? If you have 10 homes, these are people that have 10 homes. Um, make sure you have a structure in place, all right, and also make sure that the distance of your homes are not too far from each other. All right. Fine. It depends. Some counties don't approve um, homes. They don't want homes to be in the same location. So, especially small jurisdictions like, for example, Aberdeen City or Bel Air or Havre de Grace, or those cities, they have their own ways of doing things. Now, Baltimore County is just the whole county. All right. So I don't think they really look at it like that. But some places in other sides of Maryland, like Carroll County, Frederick, they have these small cities that they don't want people just buying homes or renting apartments and having people live there. They have rules because they control what they do in their small city. So let's say Baltimore County, 10 residential homes. You have a deputy director managing all 3. As you can see, this program manager has houses in Essex and Rosedale, and let's say 2 of the houses are Essex, 2 of the houses are Rosedale. So that's 4 houses that this program manager has to manage. So 2 house managers in Essex, 2 house managers in Rosedale. Then the next one has Parkville and Perry Hall. So this one has same thing, 2 houses in Parkville, 2 houses in Perry Hall. Then the one in Owens Mills is a program manager, and he has 2 houses in Owens Mills. Now, all of a sudden, let's say you open up a new house, and that makes 11 houses, and you open this house in Sykesville. Well, Sykesville is not too far from Owens Mills, so you add Sykesville to this program manager over here, and that program manager will have 3 houses now, right? And they will be in Sykesville, but they're not in Owens Mills, but they will be under that program manager. Okay, so that's important. That's important. So the thing you have to do is advise your program managers to make sure they have monthly meetings. They can have it together, where these 2 homes meet together each month to discuss what's going on. They can share staff with each other. If somebody calls out, they can send some staff from this house to that house. Every house working together. So that's how you can really grow an agency and really put a structure in place. Now, this is your whole DDA program that I decide to make an example. So, for example, you have a director, you have a Baltimore County deputy director, you have a Carroll County deputy director, and under each of these deputy directors, you have program managers. All right. So sometimes you can have houses in 2 different counties, right? Make sure you have 2 different directors for it. Now, if you don't have that, that's fine, right? That's okay. But as you grow and you get bigger, that's what you need to have, because it helps. It helps with the structure. It helps put leadership in those 2 counties. So the program director can focus on the overall program, and the CEO can focus on the overall business, because there's still a lot. There's still a lot the business owner, the CEO have to do. So you need people in place to manage it. So, all right. So for example, you just started, you are new, you got approved for residential, personal support, supported living, and CDS. So this is how you structure it. So you have a program director, then you have 3 program coordinators, right? You have a program coordinator that's going to manage 4 of your houses. All of them, they're going to manage all 4 houses, all 4 house managers. Then you have your personal support and supported living program. You have another program coordinator who's going to manage that. Then you have your CDS program, employment services. Then you're going to have another program coordinator to manage that as well. And that's very simple. You can't have one program coordinator manage all these 4 houses and manage your personal support and supported living at the same time. No, they're 2 different programs. All right. So fine, this program coordinator is not really going to work as much because personal support and supported living is not a lot. But still, people are going to call out. Some people are not going to have staff. So it's always good to, leave those 2 programs by itself. Because if you have a program coordinator that is running residential and supported living and personal support, these are different timesheets. These are different types of goals. It's all different programs. So it's good to always divide them. All right. And the director is pretty much in charge of the whole agency, of the whole DDA program. So I have it here. So as you grow, you see how to structure it very well, and it will flow better. You have your CEO on the top, then you have your CFO, and you have your COO or your executive director below. They're the second in command. Then under that, you have your program director, director of nursing, and your QA under the chief operating officer. All right. Your program director, your director of nursing, and your quality assurance director are all under your executive director. Now, your program director can run residential and day services. Now, if you want to hire somebody else for day services for the day program to run it um, by themselves, so you have two different directors. You have the residential director and you have the day services director. But over here, it's just one program director for the whole DDA program. So they will have a assistant director who will supervise the program managers. Then you have your assistant director. Oops, sorry. You have your assistant director who what's going on with me? Yeah, you have your assistant director who will manage the CDS program and employment services. Then on the other side, you have your human resources and accountant who will report to the CFO. Now, why do human resources need to report to the CFO? Because of the budget, because they need to know how many people they can hire and how they can pay. So if someone, let's say they hire someone and the person say, I want more money, and you go to the CFO and say, hey, this person, the pay rate is 50,000. This person have a master's. This person have 50 years of experience, and they're asking for 80,000. You go to the CFO to ask, is it possible? Because I want this person in this company. The program director want this person because this person have the experience. So the CFO have to say, that's cool. I'm gonna get it approved by the CEO. So that's how it goes sometimes. Then you have your accountants. Then you have your benefits coordinator. Now, why do I have benefits coordinator? It's not benefits for the staff. No, that's not what it is. It's the benefits for the clients. Now, some of the clients, especially if you have residential, they will have Social Security, they will have food stamps, they will have cash assistance, they will have all these benefits. Some of the clients will also have health insurance. They will have like a trust. They will have properties in their name. So you need somebody that will manage those documentations. Somebody that will, renew your redetermination for like food stamps or Social Security. So you need somebody that will do that, right? And keep track of it and document so the accountant can document that as well. Then the last is your administrative assistant. So that's how you really structure your whole company. You want to make sure that your company is structured very well. Um, this helps with the flow of things. So if people get fired or someone quits, you just plug them in. All right, you just plug them right in, and it will work out very well. So that's pretty much it for me. If you have any questions, um, you know, put a comment in the comment section. Also, write a comment, share, and also hit the notification button and also hit the like button. You guys have a wonderful day. Take care of yourself. Bye.